You can get started investing in Puerto Rico real estate without a bank, without any credit, and without a college degree. That's right. You can do this as a dumb broke dick with no experience. Here's how. Step 1. Find motivated sellers. Who can you find that's a motivated seller? Maybe it's a person who is a tired landlord, someone who's going through a divorce, someone who has to move because of business. Whatever their motivation is, you want to find these motivated sellers. They're a gold mine. Maybe you're talking to a seller who's tired of managing their rental. Like I said, a tired landlord. When you're starting out and you're driving around looking at real estate in your neighborhood where you want to buy, you can start knocking on doors. I prefer to knock on doors where there's a for sale sign, but you might knock on doors if the grass is too high. You might see a house that's boarded up and vacant, and I've done this, and go talk to the neighbor and see what's happened. Where did they move? Oh, they moved to Iowa. Why? Who knows why they did. The U-Haul showed up in the middle of the night and they're gone. Here's their number. Call them up. Motivated sellers, guys, you're real estate investor superheroes. You're here to solve problems. And when you call these motivated sellers, they're going to be happy to talk to you. At least some of them are. A lot of them are going to hang up on you, but that's okay. You've got thick skin. You're a real estate investor. Here's an example of a house we recently did on the island of Puerto Rico. Adon found this great deal on Facebook Marketplace. Here's why the person was motivated. The gentleman was 93 years old. He was losing his pension from the power company. He had worked a lifetime for the man on the island of Puerto Rico. And guess what? Because the island made some bad investments, made some bad decisions, they were taking this man's pension, and he was going to lose $5,000 a month worth of income. And so he was desperate to sell this house. It was the only asset that he had, and he needed cash, and he needed it now. He wanted to make sure that he and his elderly wife would be able to live out the rest of their life, that they could leave something to their daughter, and that they could replace potentially the $5,000 worth of income every month. The house was priced too high for the condition it was in, and several real estate investors had come before Adon did and made lowball cash offers. The family was unwilling to take the lowball cash offers, so when we found this opportunity and Adon was speaking with the family, he made them an offer that was significantly higher than what all of the other real estate investors had offered. However, what Adon asked was, would you be willing to be the bank? We'll give you a significant amount of money down, and then we'll make $5,000 a month payments to you for a year and pay you off over time. This was a win-win situation. So the family got to move out of the house. They got a chunk of money that they put in the bank to do whatever they needed to do with, and they continued to have enough revenue or enough income for the next year. And we, as the real estate investor, didn't have to put out all of the money. So we bought the property for $215,000. He was asking $250,000. The lowball offers were coming in at around $175,000. We bought it for $215,000. We paid off a $90,000 loan so that they eliminated some debt. We gave them $10,000 in cash, and we made $5,000 a month in payments for a year. And then we had a balloon payment for the difference. I was wondering why that didn't add up to $215,000. So in this example, we were able to buy this property on good terms. We've now renovated the property, and it is beautiful. The house can be used for a family to live there and house hack. It could be a long-term rental play for a local real estate investor. It could even probably be Airbnb property, but I think its highest and best use is just as long-term rents. Here's why I bring this up and tell you that example. You're not just trying to buy a property. You don't need to always be making lowball cash offers. You want to solve problems for people. Real estate investors, they get paid when they buy, and then they get paid to solve problems. Whether it's helping them avoid foreclosure, get rid of a property that they hate and is a headache, or if they just need to put cash in their pocket quickly. It's always about creating a win-win scenario. If you can do that as a real estate investor, you're going to make piles of cash, you're going to help a ton of people, and you're going to be a real estate investor superhero. So step 2, you found what you hope will be the deal of a lifetime. You're talking to a motivated seller. You're trying to figure out how to solve the problems. Here's what you say to offer them a seller finance deal. Say this. Hey, motivated seller, would you consider being the bank and I'll pay you monthly? Keep it that simple, guys. Here's another example that's happening right now in real life, in real time. There's a condominium in Condado, Puerto Rico, which is an amazing condo, a little 2-bedroom, 1-bath. It needs a good bit of work. It's sitting there vacant, and it has been vacant for a long, long time. The lady who owns it, she's desperate to sell it. My partner, Juan, had been negotiating with her to buy it from her cash. And at the same time, he started talking to her about seller financing. So he could have bought it cash for $270,000, I think, is what she was asking. And instead, he came to an agreement with the seller that he's going to pay $285,000 with a pretty good chunk of money down, about $50K. And then he's going to make monthly payments to her for the next 25 years. This gives her security. It gives her monthly revenue, that she desperately needs to live on as she goes into retirement. Again, real estate investors are solving problems, and when you can solve a problem for someone else, hopefully you get to make some money for solving the problems. Seller financing works because you're providing alternatives to the traditional sales process. Maybe a seller doesn't want to wait while you go to the bank and try to qualify for a loan, which, by the way, is very hard on the island of Puerto Rico. So by them stepping in the shoes of the bank, they can get monthly revenue, monthly income, close their deal faster, solve their problem faster, and get away from that piece of real estate that they no longer want, that they're motivated to sell. I've done it both ways, guys. As a real estate investor, I love to buy using seller financing. And so we routinely make it a part of our offer. And we'll offer something like a lowball cash offer, and then something that's closer to their asking price where we ask them to be the bank. We give them two offers at the same time. And you'd be surprised how many people are very attracted to having that monthly revenue and having the property close quickly, but not having to give up all of that equity, which comes with the lowball cash offer. So here's step number 3. How do you structure these deals? Once they're interested, you need to agree on 3 things: the price, the down payment, and the monthly payment. I like to put it in a letter of intent. You can use an email to do this. You can even use a text to do this. You put down the bullet points, you figure out what the price is, what the terms are, you put it all down, and then once you have an accepted agreement, then I'd send it over to the real estate attorney and have that person write up the contract for you guys. You don't need to make things difficult. You don't have to have all the I's dotted and T's crossed, at least not yet. Just do the next most important thing. So that's why I like to use this like letter of intent or this text message or even verbal sometimes. But I do like to get it in writing, and then I hand that off to the person who's going to write the contract. When I'm negotiating with the motivated seller and asking them to be the bank, the things that I'm looking for and what I want as the buyer is I want to get the best price that I can get. But when I'm offering them seller financing, I'm often willing to pay closer to their asking price. So that's the first place that we negotiate. Then I want to get the best interest rate that we can have. So I will often make the offer where I just say, I'm going to pay you X amount of dollars monthly for a certain amount of time. I don't mention interest rate at all. Obviously, as a buyer, if I can get them to agree to some kind of terms that they're comfortable with, a monthly amount of money that they feel good about for a period of time that we both agree on, that's brilliant. That's good for me. That's good for the seller. We never talked about interest, so it's a zero interest loan. Guys, you get zero interest loans, that's phenomenal. However, a lot of times you will have to negotiate the interest rate, so that's the second portion that you're going to negotiate, and you'll figure that out. You guys get to negotiate at these different levels, right? So first it's the price, then it's the terms. I start with zero interest for a fixed amount of money over a fixed period of time. And then the third thing that we can negotiate is a balloon payment. So we might say that we're going to pay X amount of payments spanned over 25 years, but Mr. Seller, I know you don't want to wait 25 years to get all of your money. So in 10 years, we'll just figure out what we owe you and we'll pay you a balloon, which will pay it off. We'll be all done. So those are the 3 places that you get to negotiate. This is a brilliant way to buy real estate. And again, it's something anybody can do. You just need to start looking for real estate. Get out there. Look for the deal of a lifetime. Action steps I've just given you in this video can change your life. Just remember when you're negotiating these seller finance deals, why would anybody want to take it? Well, there's different motivations as to why the seller would want to take it. Why do you want to offer it? Because you can go out and not have any money in your pocket and still buy real estate. So once you've agreed on terms, you want to hand it off to the lawyer. In Puerto Rico, we use attorneys that are notaries, and they will help you draw up the contract. They will do the title work. They will get everything all tidied up and ready for you. So again, I talked about this earlier. You just do what's the next step. Now your next step is to get to the closing table, hand your agreement off to the attorney, let them write up the contract, and show up to close. What's important here is you want to make sure that the attorney sets up a legally binding agreement. It spells out what it is you guys have talked about. It says who's going to do what and for how long, and you dot all your I's, you cross all your T's at the closing table. By having the lawyer draw up all of these documents, the seller's going to feel really good about the partnership they're about to enter in with you, and you're both going to know what's supposed to be happening over the next several years. It's going to be spelled out in a professional manner. This is really important. This is a key step. So there you go, guys. That's how you can buy real estate in Puerto Rico, and you don't need any credit. You don't need a ton of experience. You certainly don't need to have a rich uncle or a silver spoon in your mouth. Anybody can do this, guys. This isn't rocket surgery. I love to say that again and again. But guys, I really believe that real estate investing can provide the great life for you. If you do this often, you'll build wealth. If you build wealth, It could turn into generational wealth. The sky's the limit. Let's recap. Find a motivated seller. Negotiate a seller finance offer. Structure your seller finance offer. Hand it off to a lawyer. Close it like a pro. Guys, we've done dozens of these over the years. This isn't the only way we buy real estate, but it's one of the ways that we like to buy real estate right now. And when we're doing business on the island of Puerto Rico, it's a way to have liquidity. So borrowing money in Puerto Rico is difficult. So using seller financing deals like this or subject to deals, which we could do another video about that. In fact, comment below if you'd like us to do a deep dive into subject to deals on the island of Puerto Rico. Let me know and we could shoot that video next. So listen, we're value add real estate investors, and I've been doing it a long time. I'm not telling you that my way is the only way or even the best way or any of that. I'm just here telling you this is what we do. This is how we do it. And guys, we talk about why we do it, right? So if you like that, subscribe to the channel. Consider joining us on the Flip Flop Flipper community over on the School Network. The link's in the description. And if you'd like, after you've joined the free community, set up a strategy call with me. Mention this video. I'll give you that strategy call for free. Normally that's a $500 value, but I want to talk to you guys. I want to be part of your real estate investing story. We expand our business through partnerships, and who knows, if you join us over on the Flip Flop Flipper and have that strategy call, maybe we can get to know each other and one day we could do a deal together.